We start with this. Deputy Police Commissioner Shadrack Sibiya has lost his bid to be reinstated. The Pretoria High Court dismissing his application with costs. This follows his suspension in July, after which he had asked the court to overturn his stay-at-home order. Now, the suspension came amid explosive allegations from the KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. He claimed that Sibiya was involved in disbanding the KwaZulu-Natal Political Killings Task Team. Well, let's tell you more about that particular court outcome and one person who has been watching it with keen interest, Zoleka Qodashe, who is with me in studio tonight. Zoleka, good evening to you. Just a quick summation of why the court dismissed Mr. Sibiya's application to be reinstated. We'll talk further on other elements.
Okay. So, good evening, Qodashe, and good evening to the viewers. So, Sibiya, the Deputy National Police Commissioner, Shadrack Sibiya's application was in two parts, if you remember. One part was that the decision by his superior, Fani Masemola, to place him on leave of absence or give him that stay-at-home order be invalidated. And two, that the further disciplinary processes that would unfold against him be interdicted. So that was in two parts. And so the court, the full bench of the Gauteng High Court in Pretoria, finding that it agrees with the submissions made by Masemola's legal counsel that in fact the decision to place the Deputy National Police Commissioner was indeed rational and in light of the allegations that were leveled against him, particularly in that timeline of events. You'll remember that Masemola says that Sibiya essentially defied an instruction that there be a phasing out of this political killings task team and thereby going against the orders of his superior. And so in light of that, that decision was lawful, also saying that they disagree with the contention that was made by Sibiya's legal counsel that in fact this entire process was tainted by unlawfulness. And so that is the basis, the gist upon which the High Court found in favor of Masemola.
The deeper questions that then follow after this court ruling. Number one, whether he is going to take this up on appeal. Let's not forget that it was a full bench of the High Court in Pretoria that sat on this. That means it wasn't just one judge, it was a panel of 3 judges. So does he have appetite to take this on appeal? But second of all, where are things now regarding his position, his current position as Deputy Commissioner for Detectives, Crime Detection?
Okay, so Qoli, of course, if there was to be an appeal launched by Sibiya, then that would suspend the current order or judgment of the High Court in Pretoria. So we look forward to that if that is something that the Deputy National Police Commissioner is pursuing. But also, Qoli, you'll remember that when there were arguments in court, there was this disagreement about the source of power from which or which confers upon Masemola to make such a decision as placing his deputy on leave of absence. And the contention from Sibiya's legal counsel was that there's nothing in the disciplinary regulations that stipulates that that Masemola can actually place Sibiya on leave of absence and give him a stay-at-home order. And so that contention did not hold any water for the court. They found that, in fact, that was rational. But there's also this argument that the pending disciplinary processes or prospective disciplinary processes against Sibiya be halted because he will be appearing before the Commission of Inquiry. The High Court finds that that argument does not suffice because the terms of reference of the Commission as well as the disciplinary processes, the internal disciplinary processes of the SAPS are different to that of the Commission. Also, that even if these may intersect the objective may be different entirely. And even if the Commission of Inquiry that's been established by President Cyril Ramaphosa makes any findings in relation to disciplinary processes that may need to unfold, that does not interfere with the work of the SAPS, those internal processes. But I think what's also important, Xoli, is that issue of mootness. Now, you'll remember that he was placed on leave of absence on the 15th of, or issued with a stay-at-home order on the 15th of July, 2025. And so the judgment of the full bench of the High Court says that while you have been overtaken by events, seeking to have that stay-at-home order invalidated after he has been issued with a notice of suspension renders the application before the High Court moot, or the relief that is sought by the parties by Sibiya moot, because he's already been overtaken by events.
That's an important element, and we need to wrap on that. So very quickly, that's a new development. So whilst he was on, call it a gardening leave or stay at home, a decision internally has now been taken to basically place him officially on suspension. That's what you're telling us tonight.
That's what is contained in the judgment of the High Court. Now, you'll remember, Xoli, that when we were looking at Masemola's papers, there was a discussion about the conclusion of that investigation into Sibiya, right? In Masemola's papers, he does say that the leave or the investigation into Sibiya's conduct was concluded around August, early August. And then I asked the question, what then of the stay-at-home order? Because he still has not returned to his job. And so that is where the notice of suspension comes in. So he has indeed been suspended.
Zoleka, Qodashe, thank you very much indeed for that particular update. Well, that's a new development. Basically, Shadrack Sibiya is now officially on suspension based on what Zoleka is telling us, and of course it's based on information that she has been following regarding this particular matter.